sorry about that. It's ironic they're doing a class about adrenal fatigue and then we're having tech problems, right? So we're smelling our oils, we're staying calm and zen. I wanted to welcome you guys that are new to our group. I'm Dr. Laura Ritchie. I actually have 2 new certifications that I'm so excited to share since we last met a month ago. I am excited to share that I'm now a national board certified health and wellness coach. I passed my national licensure exam. I'm so excited. I am also a certified insulin resistance coach, a certified women's health and functional nutrition coach, a doctor of physical therapy, and an essential oil educator and leader with doTERRA International. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're watching the replay, welcome to the replay. A shout out, and I wanted to say happy birthday to George LeMay. If he's catching the replay later, happy birthday, George. I'm so excited that you guys are all here. Special thanks to Andrew for providing us this amazing tech. Fingers crossed it's going to cooperate with us. We're doing some new things, showing you guys some PowerPoints and screens. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, so fingers crossed, say a little prayer that everything works well for us this time as we move along. We actually do have a giveaway for US viewers watching live, so stay tuned for all the details on how to win that. And also feel free to give us hearts and likes if you're finding this information helpful. That's very beneficial to us as well. So let's jump into the class and get started. So this is Ampere Adrenals. And I wanted to just give you guys a little preface first as we get started. This is just our little fun disclaimer that, again, this isn't intended to be medical advice. This isn't intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with your doctor. I'm just sharing information and knowledge from my own research, education, training, and experience. And I really encourage you to partner up with your qualified healthcare professional and do your own research as well along your journey. So let's talk a little bit about my journey. This is what my big why. This is why I came to the world of functional nutrition and coaching and essential oils. I actually had an extremely rare sarcoma called a desmoid tumor that 2 to 4 out of a million people get. This is exactly 6 years ago. It was October 11th, 2011, and this really changed my life. I actually named my tumor Harold. You'll see Harold at the top there, but it was in my abdominal wall. The picture at the bottom left is actually a year after that desmoid tumor was removed and I had a large hernia. So what happened was, because that tumor was so large, they had to put synthetic mesh into my abdomen. The mesh herniated. It actually herniated twice. So I had 4 surgeries related to this desmoid tumor. The last being a complex abdominal wall reconstruction where they completely rebuilt my abdominal wall using my own muscle, which was a really big surgery. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I had these drains that you guys can see from that picture hanging off of the side there. It was quite an experience. I was 20 pounds less than what I am now, which is pretty crazy. So that was definitely a challenging part of my life for me. And then also another part of my journey is I was diagnosed with adult hip dysplasia and had some very, very large surgeries in my hips for adult hip dysplasia, labral tears, and hip impingement. So these are bigger than hip replacement. They actually had to break my pelvis in 4 places, build me a new hip joint with my existing joint. You can see those large screws in there. It was kind of crazy. And then was diagnosed with Lyme disease in 2015. So you guys can actually see those rashes in the pictures. I used to get really strange rashes all the time that nobody could really explain. And it wasn't until I saw a Lyme literate medical doctor that they said, oh, that's Bartonella, that's a co-infection of Lyme. Done a lot of IV treatments and different things along my healing journey. And actually, interestingly enough, that top right-hand picture, the picture on the right side of my hand, that is just after changing my diet. No specific treatments for Lyme disease or anything, just changing my diet. I noticed a difference in inflammation and response from my body. So I'm here to tell you that what I am teaching really does work. I practice what I preach. I would not be here doing what I'm doing, teaching and sharing with all of you, if I didn't take the time for the self-care and the nutrition and all of these things. So I'm excited to share with you guys today. And we're going to jump in and talk a little bit about what the adrenal glands are. So the adrenal glands, they're also known as suprarenal glands because supra above, they're found above the kidneys. And these are endocrine glands. They produce hormones. They sit like little hats on top of our kidneys. They're the size of a walnut and they're about the weight of a grape. And there's 2 parts. So the inner zone is the medulla, and this is where it produces adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, norepinephrine, and androgens. The outer zone, or the cortex, also produces cortisol, DHEA, and aldosterone. So this is really important. And now we're going to talk a little bit about what is the purpose of the adrenal glands. So they actually allow the body to deal with stress. So when we are under a lot of stress, we get into the fight, flight, freeze response. Those are kind of the decisions that happen in our body. And this is part of the sympathetic nervous system. And it actually shunts all activity towards the lizard brain, that primal part of the brain, not our wizard brain, not our cognitive processing thinking part of the brain, so that you can run away if you're under threat. So this causes an increase in heart rate and blood pressure so that you can fight or flight and get out of the way of danger. But this is at a cost because your digestive system shuts down. You don't fully absorb the food that you're eating. You don't get all the nutrients for it. It shuts down your immune system. People tend to get sick more readily, tend to catch every cold. And DHEA is released. It's a hormone that is released when we're not stressed. And this is our growth and repair hormone. So this is really kind of the energy related to your body's responses. It keeps the body's stress reactions in check, and it modulates all those metabolic processes like we talked about. Distribution of fat around the middle, blood sugar regulation, cardiovascular functioning, GI functioning, utilization of carbs and fats. And this is also the major source of sex hormones during menopause. So many people think that after menopause that they just don't make any sex hormones. Well, if your adrenals are healthy and functioning well, you do make some sex hormones from the adrenal glands. And that's why it's so important for us to take care of them now. So let's talk a little bit about overactive adrenals. So if your adrenal glands are working a little bit too hard, you can be wired but tired, where you have a hard time falling asleep. You're usually under lots and lots of stress. There can be weight gain going on, especially around the middle. You can wake up tired after 8 hours of sleep. You can perspire easily or excessively with little activity. And then let's talk about low adrenals. So low energy, you often get sick. You have poor exercise recovery. And you can have ligament or tendon laxity, which can be a really big thing. Cold intolerance, you crave salt. Low blood pressure, especially when standing. You may even get a little bit dizzy when you stand up. Thin hair that falls out, light sensitivity, and dry skin. So we're going to talk a little bit about our circadian rhythms because these are really, really important when we're talking about the adrenal glands. So cortisol actually peaks in the morning to wake you up and get you going, and then it slowly decreases throughout the day. So you'll see it's a little bit like that top of the roller coaster ride. It peaks and then it kind of goes down. It works kind of in opposition with melatonin, whereas melatonin peaks at nighttime to help us go to sleep, and then it comes off and decreases in the morning so that we're waking up. The problem is when throughout the day we're having these cortisol spikes, and it's not this gradual decline, but we have lots of high cortisol throughout the day. And it's a delicate balance with our melatonin. And we're going to talk a little bit later in the class about getting morning light and why it's important for us to go outside. And the adrenals love routine, guys. They love when you wake up every morning at the same time, when you go to bed every morning, or every night at the same time, when you eat your meals at the same time, when you exercise at the same time. They love routine. And fall and winter is adrenal healing season, which is why I specifically wanted to save this class for this time of the year, because it's a time for rest. The sun sets sooner, it gets darker earlier, which gives us time to really optimize rest and sleep in the winter time. So we're going to talk a little bit about the pregnenolone steal. And this image is from healthylivingnutritiontherapy.com. So you'll see here the adrenal glands, they can produce cortisol, and there's kind of two ways that it can go. We can go and we can produce aldosterone and our sex hormones, or if we're under a lot of stress, we go to the adrenaline and norepinephrine. So stress is going to pull everything into this direction over here. So we've got the cortisol, then it goes into pregnenolone, and this is what's called the pregnenolone steal, where instead of making sex hormones like DHEA, the repair and restorative hormone that we really like a lot of, testosterone, estrogen, we actually have this pregnenolone steal to make cortisol. So this is happening, and really we were divinely designed because the body goes, whoa, we're in a stressed out state. This is not a place to raise children or make babies. So whoop, we're not going to make sex hormones right now. We're going to produce cortisol. And the cortisol is, again, it's there to protect us. It's in that innate safety piece to get us out of danger. However, we're not supposed to live in that state of stress. The body doesn't realize that we are no longer out on an open savanna. We feel this stress all the time now in our jobs, work, school, all of these things with what may be going on in politics or over the world. We're kind of under this constant state of stress, and the body really isn't designed to handle that very well. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. So let's talk about the causes of adrenal insufficiency. So chronic stress, poor diet, things like caffeine, alcohol, bread, sugar, all of these things. In 2009, more than 50% of all Americans consume 1/2 pound of sugar per day, 180 pounds of sugar per year. That was the last stat that I had. I'm sure it's way, way more right now. The food stress is a big issue. These are nutrient depleted foods. They're high glycemic foods. The mental and emotional stress. We aren't designed to be under prolonged emotional stress. Or if you're having several stressful events in a row, one right after the other, this can really take the adrenals. Immune system imbalance, toxic exposure, poor sleep, not getting that sleep quality and quantity that we need. Ideally, you want to be in bed by 10 p.m. and getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night. And if you're not getting that, it stresses the adrenals even more. Sleep is so important. Eating too close to bedtime can be a really problem. We want to leave at least 3 hours between the last meal and bed, because if we eat right before bedtime, it can disrupt our sleep, it can increase cortisol, and with the increase in cortisol, it actually inhibits our growth hormone, which is what burns fat. So this can really be setting us up for some challenges too. If we're feeling overworked, physical or mental strain, getting chronic infections, chronic pain, malabsorption, things like leaky gut, low blood sugar, surgery, trauma, injury, worry, anxiety, all of these things can be causing this adrenal insufficiency for us. So let's talk a little bit about the signs and symptoms. There are several. So I want you guys to kind of look at this list, see how many of these resonate with you. But if you're getting every cold and flu bug that goes around, if you crave sugar and caffeine, if you have to have coffee in the morning to get you going and you have to have wine at night to go to bed, that's a sign of self-medicating. That's what we're doing. So it's something to be really aware of. If you wake up tired, but then you kind of get a second wind around 6 p.m., that whole tired but wired thing, infertility, painful sex, or dry skin, because again, that's affecting our sex hormone production, low thyroid symptoms like the weight gain, sluggish metabolism, cold hands and feet, dry, brittle skin, hair and nails, all of that can be part of it. Struggling with anxiety that comes out of nowhere, or you just worry about the smallest things. Poor recovery from exercise, or if you exercise, you feel worse. You actually feel physically sick. That can be a big problem. Hair that starts to fall out, weight gain around the middle, as we mentioned, sensitivity to lights. You may just be more sensitive kind of all around to lights, sounds, things like that. Low blood pressure, ligament and tendon laxity. That's actually a sign, especially if you're seeing a physical therapist or a chiropractor and you're getting adjusted and that adjustment isn't staying. That's usually a sign that there is an adrenal fatigue issue, that you have too much laxity, and that could be contributing. Excessive fatigue, weakness, low body temperature, poor concentration, brain fog, insomnia, diminished sex drive, muscle spasms, muscle and joint pain, hypoglycemia, you've got low blood sugar, depression or anxiety, or dizziness upon standing. All of these can be signs. So if you have 3 or more of these, it's really important to listen. This class is for you, and we're here to help you with this. So let's talk about, what do? We have all these signs. Oh no, what are we going to do now? First and foremost, we're going to chill out. And we're going to use our essential oils for emotional support. This is really, really important, guys. We want to do some de-stressing activities, whether that is yoga or meditation or having a prayer practice, journaling, any of these things, any of these daily rituals that are so, so, so important for us. One of my favorites is HeartMath. This is something that I learned from my mentor, Dr. Rita Marie, and I teach my private health coaching clients. But let's all do it together because, we were having some tech issues and hopefully everything's up and running again. But we're all going to take a breath, right? Because there are things that happen that are out of our control, like tech issues or things going on, natural disasters, all of these things. So we're going to do a HeartMath exercise right now. So I want you, if you're not driving or in a safe place to do so, to close your eyes. And we're just going to take a deep breath in and we're going to relax. We're just going to blow that out. And you can bring some awareness to your heart. You can actually place your hands over your heart. That helps to bring awareness to this area. And I want you to just think back to a time in your life where you felt such great gratitude, love, appreciation. This could be a vacation spot that you went on that you just felt so much gratitude for being in such a beautiful place. Actually imagine that you're there right now. So I always like to go to the beach. So I actually think of my feet in the sand, my toes in the sand, the breeze on my skin. Take it in with as much sensation as you can. Actually hear those sounds. What does it look like? And just think about that joy and appreciation. This may be looking at your newborn child for the first time. This may be thinking about a spouse or a beloved pet. Just take that in. It doesn't have to take very long. Take another big deep breath in and let it go. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes back up. Didn't take us long, right? A minute, couple seconds. But that can do amazing things for your hormones and for your adrenals. And I love it. It's cheap, it's inexpensive. You don't need any equipment or anything. I love to pair that with the essential oils. So something to try. Sleep. This is so, so important. So again, we want to reset our hormones and we want to be in bed by 10 p.m. and stop food intake 3 hours before bed. Getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep is going to be really, really important. Ideally, you want to wake up in the morning when the sun comes up and go to bed at night when the sun goes down. Again, rhythms. We are cyclical beings. I think there was no chance that was not by design, that we are designed to be up with the sun, go to bed when we're supposed to. And that really helps with those circadian rhythms. So one of the things, this is a great tip, this is a lifestyle tip, it can really make amazing difference in your sleep if you're open to trying it, is to get up in the morning when the sun comes up and actually watch the sunrise. Those UV rays go into your eyes and they help to affect the pineal gland, which turns down the production of melatonin, and it lets the body know, oh, it's morning time, it's time to wake up, we need to stop the melatonin, and it helps with those cortisol levels to come up to be in a rhythm, like, oh, okay, it's morning time, it's daytime, we're supposed to be awake right now. That's very important. Light exercise, and I really want to stress light, okay? This is a time when your body is healing. This is not a time to go and run a marathon. So light, short duration until your adrenals are repaired. Things like yoga, gentle yoga, things like walking. If you feel worse afterwards, you did too much. You need to stop. If it took several days to recover from the exercise that you're doing, you did too much. You need to back off. So it's really important to listen to your body with this. A 3-day sleep vacation, and this is something that I learned from my mentor, Dr. Rita Marie, where you actually, for 3 days, you go to bed early by 10 p.m., you get a good night's sleep, you stay in bed for 12 hours. Okay, if you're not tired, you just lay in bed, you can pray, you can meditate, you can read a book, but you stay in bed for 12 hours. You don't schedule anything during the day. You don't do work, you don't answer emails, you don't do any of that stuff. You keep it really low key during the day. You watch fun movies, not stressful horror thriller movies. You can read books, light activity, and then you go to bed again at 10 p.m. and you get up 12 hours later. And you stay in bed for that full 12 hours again. This is an amazing reset for your adrenal glands. So I challenge you to do this, guys. This is your health. This is so important. If you don't start taking care of your health now and you're getting into that burnout phase, this is when bad things can happen. And I am a big advocate of this because I know I was burned out for several years and then I got cancer. It's no surprise to me that that happened when it did. So this is my lesson to you. This is my big message. Please listen to the whispers. Please listen to your body. That's the way your body's getting a hold of you. We also want to check in with diet. So whole, fresh foods, organic foods. We want to avoid the packaged foods. The top 7 inflammatory foods are gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, corn, peanuts, and eggs. So looking at maybe taking one out at a time or eliminating those. I work very closely with my private health coaching clients to support them in all of these different pillars, but usually nutrition is one that they come to me specifically for, and we do things to support them with that. And then also getting fresh air and sunshine and vitamin D, right? We want to stay hydrated, get outside, get some sunshine, eat clean food, get good rest. All of these things are so, so important when looking at healing your adrenals. I love this quote from Dr. Ram. Want a secret to adrenal balance? Know that you are enough, that you can say no to taking on too much. And this gives you more time to take care of your health rather than feeling constantly pushed to the edge for time. This is really, really important and beautiful. So think about that. Your adrenals will thank you as you start to take time for you. Self-care is so essential. Let's talk about the perception of stress. So you want to start responding differently to stressful situations and changing the way that you react to stress. My mentor, Dr. Rita Marie, said the world isn't going to change. We have to change. And this is why our tools, supporting yourself with a really clean diet, supporting yourself with essential oils for emotional support, taking a deep breath when you need it, doing heart math, all of these tools are really, really important and can help you. And then we have some supplements and herbs that can also support you. So things like pantothenic acid, which is vitamin B5, and this is actually in our Lifelong Vitality Pack. Vitamin C, Mito2 Max, ashwagandha, rhodiola, cordyceps. These are some things that can really be helpful for us. Actually, interestingly enough, the body uses vitamin C. Do you know which part of the body uses the most vitamin C? It's your adrenal glands. 80% of the vitamin C that you consume is used by your adrenal glands. That shocked me. So that's really, really important. So let's talk about the Lifelong Vitality Pack. These are the supplements that I love, that I'm personally on, that my husband is on, that Andrew is on. We all take the Lifelong Vitality Pack. This is a whole food blend of vitamins and minerals. And what's great is that our beautiful essential oils are infused into these. So there's an omega blend to help with your omega and your omega-3s and fatty acids with the essential oils. There's a cellular vitality complex blend that helps with metabolic factors and cellular energy. So it's these three big guns kind of all packed together. What I love about these so much is they're very clean. They're non-GMO. They're gluten and dairy free. There's no folic acid, which is a synthetic form of folate. So you do not want the folate, or you do want the folate, you do not want the folic acid. That is not good. That's man-made and lab-made and very inflammatory. And I would encourage you to do your own research about folic acid. That's one of the first things I look at on any supplement is, does it have folate, not folic acid? And we don't want cyanocobalamin. Cyanocobalamin is a derivative of cyanide. Not good. Again, it's a synthetic form of your B vitamins. You actually want the methylated B12 vitamins. Those are going to be what the body recognizes. We can't trick the body, guys. The body is very, very smart. It knows that these synthetic derivatives is not real, is not true, and doesn't really know what to do with them, and unfortunately causes a lot of inflammation. This Lifelong Vitality Pack actually has a 30-day money-back guarantee, which is kind of amazing. I wish every single supplement company did that, because I do believe in bioindividuality. We all react a little bit differently, but these are some amazing supplements. I personally noticed a huge difference when I went on this. Let's talk about vitamin C. So the Lifelong Vitality Pack does have vitamin C. If you're dealing with an adrenal issue, I actually want you to up your vitamin C even more. So this is one, the PerQ Potency Guard tablets. These are ones that Dr. Rita Marie had recommended. I have used and I like them. There's also different liposomal liquid vitamin C. Some of my clients don't always like the taste of it. It's easier for them to do a tablet. It's up to you. You can pick which one works best for you. You can actually do 1,000 milligrams, and you can do that 3 times a day. So the half-life of vitamin C is about 4 hours. So that's why you want to do breakfast, lunch, and dinner and space it out rather than taking more all in one chunk. It's not going to be as beneficial. You can actually increase vitamin C to bowel tolerance, so where you actually start to get loose stools or diarrhea, and then back off a little bit. These are water soluble, which means you can't get toxic. If you get a really high dose, you're just going to pee it out. But this does help to boost the adrenals and boost your immune system, which is really incredible. So vitamin C, snag it. Mito 2 Max. I love this supplement. I personally take this supplement every single day. This is the Energy and Stamina Complex. This has specific nutrients that really help to just feed your adrenal glands. A lot of things that we mentioned already, like the ashwagandha, cordyceps, ginseng, coenzyme Q10 is in here. It's a natural alternative to a caffeine and energy drink for energy support. So if you're getting that 2 p.m. crash, you could take this. And you could also use your essential oils to help support you too. So this could be very powerful. And I love that it's in a sodium lauryl sulfate-free vegetable capsule. Again, we want quality really matters with our supplements, just like with our essential oils. It's also gluten and dairy-free, which is really powerful. And the Serenity Restful Complex, we talked about how important, so we talked about diet. Nutrition is the foundation. Sleep is so important. You know, some would argue that sleep is more important than exercise and diet. It is huge. This combo pack is amazing to help support you. And it's actually been designed to work together, where we have the soft gels and the essential oil. So in the soft gel, for internal use, we've got lavender, we've got L-theanine, which is an amino acid. We have some calming herbs like lemon balm, passion flower, and chamomile. You can actually take, now on the bottle it says 1 to 2. I'm gonna give you a suggestion of 1 to 3. Soft gels 30 minutes before bed. For me personally, 2 alone weren't cutting it. When I went up to 3, this was a tip that I learned from Susan Johnson. Oh my gosh, it was like a game changer. It was like, oh, the angels sang and I slept. So if you're not getting the benefit with 2, go up to 3 and give that a try and see if that works for you. It's designed to be used with the essential oil. So diffuse your Serenity essential oil with that. Put a drop or 2 on the bottoms of your feet. That's a great place to put your oils. Put a drop or 2 on your pillow. This is designed to help with relaxation and sleep without making you feel groggy the next morning. You know, there are so many things, alternatives that you can do for sleep that can actually be kind of dangerous for our health or leave us feeling really groggy, or then we can work up and be dependent on them. So I love these natural options that work just as well. Honestly, I think even better than the other stuff. I had been on tons of other stuff and was really struggling with issues, and this has really helped me. And it just helps to reduce that stress and calm the nervous system. That's a beautiful thing about the oils. You can use Serenity in the middle of the day if you're feeling really stressed out. Put that on, take a deep breath, do your heart math. It's not going to zonk you out like some of those other things. So actually, one of my friends, she gets really nervous before going to see the OB-GYN for an annual exam, right guys? Like, that's not pleasant. Let's get real. That's just not fun. So she took one Serenity soft gel, 1 or 2, I can't remember, to just calm her before, and it really helped. So know that you can take these during the days too in times of extreme stress. They're not going to zonk you out. They just support you where you're at, which is really cool. So I love those. Now let's talk about essential oils for adrenal support. There are several. Basil, rosemary, geranium, ylang ylang, zendocrine, citrus bliss, and elevation. So citrus bliss and elevation, it's not recommended for internal use, but you could diffuse those. You could apply those topically like perfume. The others above, you could take those internally as well. So there's different applications and methods, which I love. So we got aromatic, you can smell it out of the bottle, you can smell it on your hands, internal use for those ones that are recommended to do so, and then also topical use. So you can actually play with that and see which one works best for you. And I love this adrenal support roller. So this is information that I learned from Stephanie Fritz, but it is in a roller. I love the Root and Petal rollers. Those are my favorite. I love Becky at the Root and Petal. She has these beautiful rollers. But this is 5 drops each of basil, rosemary, geranium, and ylang ylang in a 10 ml roller bottle, and then you just top it with your fractionated coconut oil or your carrier oil of choice and apply over the adrenals. So that low back area again, like right kind of that flank area. And you're going to do that 2 to 3 times a day. I've got mine right here. So these work really great. Can be a great benefit. I think Andrew actually made this blend and noticed some benefit from this one, the adrenal support. So yeah, it's very helpful for everybody. There's so many oils for stress. So like we said, right, the world's not going to change. We have to change. We have to change our perception of stress, our response to stress, have tools in our arsenal to help us during times of stress. And there are several. There's several. Bergamot, cardamom, cedarwood, Roman chamomile, clary sage, frankincense, geranium, grapefruit, jasmine. Woohoo! We have jasmine now. We have rose now. We have neroli now. When these new oils came out, we're so excited. Lavender, lemon, marjoram, melissa, wild orange, petitgrain, sandalwood, vetiver, ylang ylang, all of these. And then I would even argue to say there's even more. Cheer, elevation, balance, peace, forgive, citrus bliss. All of these are going to be so amazing for stress. So as Hilary LeMay would say, choose your own adventure. See which one resonates with you, which one smells really good, and start using that daily, diffusing it at your workspace, putting it on like perfume or applying throughout the day to help you. This is so, so important. And these were really interesting. This was a specific stress support roller. There's 2 blends that I'm going to share with you. This is actually information from Valerie Ann Woodward's book, The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy. This is a really great book to have in your toolkit. You can check it out. I highly recommend it. You can snag it on Amazon, but that's just really helpful. So she talks about 5 drops each of clary sage, Roman chamomile, and lavender, and geranium in a 10 ml roller bottle, top with your fractionated coconut oil, and apply it to the bottoms of the feet, wrist, and over the heart 2 to 3 times a day. And you can play with these. You can see which one works best for you. Again, bioindividuality is going to be different for everybody, so I encourage you to play. But this is another one of Valerie Ann Woodward's Wormwood's blends. This is blend number 2. It's 5 drops each of Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, petitgrain, and sandalwood. And in a 10 ml roller bottle, top with your fractionated coconut oil, same places to apply. So I would even look up in the Emotions and Essential Oils book, see if there are certain oils that resonate with you personally. You can make a blend specifically off of that, would be another good idea. And then briefly, I wanted to talk about Addison's disease, because this kind of gets into the play and the picture when we're talking about adrenal issues. So Addison's disease is actually when the function of the adrenal glands is either severely limited or it completely shuts down. And this could be caused by autoimmune disorders, cancer, tuberculosis, other diseases. It also causes a loss of hormones from the adrenal cortex, and this can lead to dehydration. So symptoms may be tiredness, dizziness when standing, excessive thirst, weight loss, dark patches appearing on the skin. And elevation is going to be a really, really great oil to support you if you may be needing a little bit of support with this. Let's also talk about Cushing's syndrome. This is another area. This is on the other side of the spectrum where you have too much, an overabundance of corticosteroids and cortisol in the body. And this can be, it's overproduced by the adrenal glands. So it can be caused by a growth in the adrenal glands or a tumor in the thyroid leading to a production of too much corticotropin. And it can be caused by taking artificial cortisone or cortisone-like substances. Symptoms of this could be weight gain, muscle loss, weakness, bruising, osteoporosis. Interestingly enough, elevation is one of those oils that can support with either one of these. On Guard was one that came up to support with Cushing's. I'd also recommend Lifelong Vitality Pack for both of these to just support people, give them that good foundation too. But I wanted to mention that a little bit. So I want to let you know that we're just kind of skimming the surface. This class is kept very general. We can get really, really detailed with all of this with different adrenal testing. There is cortisol salivary testing. There's the Dutch test. There's urine tests, there's blood tests to find out which specific stage of adrenal fatigue people are in. That's what I do in my private health coaching practice. I get really, really specific with them, and then we can get specific with even some bioidentical hormones, little drops under the tongue of DHEA and pregnenolone and things, and the treatments that we incorporate. So I do go into more detail in this with my private health coaching clients. If that's something that you're open to, please check out my website for more information. I would love to work with you, but I wanted to keep this general to just give good information all across the board of things that can support you regardless of what stage of adrenal fatigue you're in. And then I really kind of individualize things and narrow into that with my private health coaching clients. There's a lot of resources here. So Dr. Jessica Drummond with the Integrative Women's Health Institute was the first person that I learned adrenal fatigue from, and some of these amazing practices. She also recommends in what she calls a laptop curfew, 8 p.m. Laptop goes down. It's good for our adrenals. It's good for our health to shut off that blue light. Dr. Rita Marie Lascalzo with the Institute of Nutritional Endocrinology. I'm taking her 2-year nutritional endocrinology practitioner training program. She's amazing, a great source of information. Trancy, the oh gosh, I hope I say this right, Transiella. I've gotten some information from her. She was a guest speaker in our NEPT program and also talked about the adrenals, so learned a lot as well. And then the books that we talked about. The complete book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy by Valerie Ann Woodward. This is a really great book to check out. Very, very helpful. And then we also have our Essential Life book. Love this book as well. So much good information in here. You can get these on Amazon, on shareoils.com, Aroma Tools, Oil Life, and then Andrew's favorite book, the Modern Essentials book. It's really good. Mm-hmm. And this is really designed, I kind of think of this book for more of a clinical application. A lot of healthcare professionals really like this book because it does kind of go into more detail on some of those things. The majority of my people really like this book because it is it's beautiful. It's very consumer friendly. It's easy to understand. And this was actually a book that one of my very sweet Oilers, Becky, recommended, and I love it. I really love it. I love to geek out and nerd out and learn more and more about this. So that's really cool. So I want to talk to you. This is so exciting. If you are new to essential oils, if you don't have an oil person in your life, I would love to be that person for you. There's actually some amazing sales going on right now for the month of October that I just want to talk to you about briefly. So this is the Home Essentials Kit. It is the top 10 oils in the larger bottles. These are 15 ml bottles that hold about 250 drops per bottle, plus a diffuser. So you could diffuse oils that work to support you or where you are. Just for the month of October, you actually get 3 oils for free. And these are oils that we mentioned specifically to support stress: Balance, Serenity, and Citrus Bliss. They are amazing. So in the idea of adrenal support, because that's what this whole class is about, frankincense is great for mood, for stress, for calming anxious feelings. Lavender is the all things calm oil, again for stress and sleep support, which we talked about are essential when repairing your adrenals. Lemon is very uplifting. It's great to add to warm water in the morning as a coffee replacement, and then just do a little pinch of some sea salt. That gives you some trace minerals. A lot of people with adrenal issues are constantly feeling dehydrated or thirsty and they're not getting enough minerals. So just doing a little pinch of sea salt, the good quality stuff, Himalayan sea salt, Celtic sea salt, can really make a difference and help support those adrenals. Melaleuca, this helps to boost your immune system if you're dealing with adrenal fatigue. Also great for blemishes or any type of skin irritation. Oregano is the big guns for immune support. You're going to want it there when you need it if you start to feel under the weather. Peppermint's very energizing. So if you're getting that slump, if you're feeling tired throughout the day, this is a great one to just apply. You can diffuse it with lemon to help with energy and focus. You can apply it over your head if you're dealing with headaches. It's very cooling. It's also great if you have a little one that has a really high body temperature to help us lower the body temperature if we're feeling under the weather. Breathe is an amazing oil. It's the respiratory support blend, so it can help you with the changes in seasons, taking a breath, literally just taking a breath and stopping what you're doing. You can add it to your heart meth or your meditation, your prayer, your yoga, your exercise. I love to put Breathe on before I go and do my exercise. DigestZen, really emotionally, it helps support overwhelm when we bite off more than we can chew. And it also helps with digestive support. So gas, bloating, indigestion, irritation, anything like that. On Guard is our protective blend. We love it. We say it smells like Christmas, cleans like bleach. It's amazing. It really helps to boost your immune system. Smells great, especially during fall season now. Get rid of those nasty chemicals like the candles and plug-ins and the air fresheners and stuff, and switch to your essential oils. Your adrenals will thank you for that. Smells amazing. And then Deep Blue. It's the all things pain oil. So if you're having pain anywhere, it's incredible. Deep Blue is incredible. So regularly, this starter kit is $366.67. It is on sale for $275, plus you get the 3 oils free, plus you're going to get a bunch of goodies from me as well. So check out the video that I did in our group for all the details on the extra things that I'm adding in. I only have 2 kits left, guys. So if you are ready, if now is the time for you to get started, please let me know, reach out. I would love to help you and support you. We have a private Facebook team just for our oil squad with continued education and support. I will schedule a wellness consult with you. We're going to go over your specific health and wellness goals and how the oils can support you. I'm going to teach you how to make rollers and roller blends so that you know how to dilute your oils and you feel really empowered. We schedule follow-up calls with you one-on-one. You get access to our entire virtual library of classes. I do these public classes because I want to help as many people as I can, but my private oils squad actually has access to all of them. So these are in this group temporarily, so you can watch and enjoy, but then one comes down as a new class comes up. They have access to everything. So if you don't have an oils person, I would love to be that person to help you, to support you. It's a really big deal, guys, when choosing a person to get started with. You're kind of married to them, and it can be challenging to switch once you get started with somebody. And I get private messages almost every single day from people who are not getting support from the person there, and it breaks my heart. I don't want that to happen. So please know it. I take it as a huge honor and responsibility when somebody wants to get started with me to just help them along their journey. If you found this class helpful, please go and like my Facebook page. I would so be appreciative of that. You'll be notified of future events and classes that we're doing. And I believe November is going to be a class on self-care and essential oils as we approach the holiday season and how to support yourself. It's something that when I teach classes on self-care, a lot of people feel like, oh, I know what that is. I don't have time for that. But the people that actually come to the class, they say it really did change their life, that it was really, really helpful information. And I feel like it's a perfect bridge with adrenal support, because in order to heal from adrenal fatigue, we have to have that platform of self-care. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. We have a giveaway. So let me show you what's all included in our giveaway here. And we will go from there. Let's see if I can hold all this stuff for you guys. Oh my gosh. So we have some really nice goodies from Aromatools. We got a little measuring spoon, a fun pin. We have a keychain to hold all of your lovely essential oils. Oh, thank you, Aromatools, for this. We have some fun recipe cards, so you can make some blends and things and use those. A really cool essential oil coloring book. You could diffuse some oils and just color. That would be a great stress reduction, right? A little notepad here to take notes as you're watching our classes. And then I am throwing in, I actually handmade these guys. I think they're really cute. It's a little diffuser keychain. So you actually add the oil to the little leather part and you can clip it on a necklace or your keychain or wherever you want it on your purse to just give you a little bit of diffusing, a little cordless diffuser here. I'm actually throwing in a lip balm. I love doTERRA's lip balm. It is free of petroleum, which is a toxin, and it tastes amazing. And then I'm also going to add in a little roller from the Root and Petal of Whisper. This is a non-toxic perfume that is really amazing that can also support you emotionally. So some lucky winner is going to get all of these goodies. All you have to do to enter is just post a learning comment below, something that you learned from this class, something that you found helpful, and you'll be entered into the drawing. This is for US only, and what will happen is about 10 minutes after this class is over, after our video ends, we will select someone, we'll put it randomly into a randomizer, and we'll find out who wins, and I will get these goodies sent off to you. The replay of this class is going to be up until November 11th to watch, so make sure that you take notes and you watch the class before it comes down. I want to thank you guys all so much for being here. And if you start to implement some of these tips that you've learned from the class, please tag me on social media. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. I would love to see what you're doing and how these classes are helping to support you in your life. Also, don't forget we have our Two Curls on Oil podcast. We now, thanks to Andrew, our tech guy, have really cool tech support where we can actually do these over video on Facebook Live. That's going to be, tentatively we have it planned for November 10th. We'll post more as that gets closer. You guys can actually see our October class. It's in this group. If you scroll down, you can find that and watch that. But there's lots of good tips and tricks. We actually talk about our favorite resources and things to help you. So I hope you guys found this class helpful. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and I will catch you next month. Take care. Bye, guys.